We need to go up somewhere. There we go. Hi guys! Hopefully this isn't too, I feel like it's wobbly. Should we go, let's go here because I have to use this mirror anyways. Okay, hi. I don't ever do these like girl talks on this channel, but I figured it kind of makes more sense because I don't ever really talk about the makeup anyways. I like to just chat, do my makeup because I have to film, and kind of update you on some things because I know I just like came back after being gone and kind of explained where I was, but I haven't explained to you everything that's been going on since going away. Taking my break. Anyway, I just got out of the shower. Also, I'm trying out a new, if you guys are used to my other channel, and I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it here a million times, the Dove Coconut Hydration Shampoo. They've discontinued it. Can't find it anywhere. I mean, you can find it on Amazon for like $30 a bottle. But like, I've been trying to find a like replacement for it, and I tried a new Head and Shoulders one. I'm not gonna let you know yet. It's got similar, super similar ingredients, same like everything, and it didn't feel like stripping on my hair, but I want to try it for a little while to see if it actually does help keep my like dandruff at bay. But I did that. I got out of the shower and I have like some sit down videos to film today, so I just need to get my makeup done, and I figured let's chat here while I do it because I feel like the people who watch my girl talks on my main channel are the people who watch my vlogs for the most part, so I figured let's just do it here. It makes sense. So I'm gonna do my makeup. I'm not gonna talk about any of the specific products, but I will have them linked down below. I pretty much always have my makeup linked, but which reminds me I need to update it for this channel because I pretty much wear very similar makeup. But either way, some of the products do change up. I do have my tinted SPF on. And I'm gonna go in with pretty light makeup today. But anyway, I kind of wanted to talk about moving again because I'm moving. We're moving back to Dallas, which Chicago was only supposed to be, or Schaumburg, whatever, was only supposed to be a temporary move to begin with. But I thought Scott would end up loving it and we'd just stay here, but that hasn't been the case, and that's okay. I have come to a lot of realizations when we moved and how my mindset was like kind of negative about Texas, and I felt like I didn't give it a fair shot, and I felt like that really wasn't fair for Scott. So I started just like thinking about like the fact that when I lived in Texas originally, I really liked it. I moved to California. I hate the summers. It's hot. It's very, very hot, okay? There's no seasons. It's just hot. But I felt like, so I moved back to Texas in the summer, right? And then I was pregnant when I moved back. Like I found out I was like 8 weeks pregnant. And in the summer of Texas, I didn't have a job. I was like just feeling really crappy because here I am pregnant without a job. I quit my job after or before I found out I was pregnant, but I probably would have anyways. But nonetheless, it was just like not a moment of my life that I loved, you know, but such is life. And I think that's another thing that I think we think the older we get, the less of these like weird scenarios that we should find ourselves in, and that's just not the case with me anyway. So that happens, and then like as you know, I found a job in the beginning of the year, things started looking, you know, hopeful. The job was terrible and I talked a lot about that, but the other part of it was COVID. So that happened right as I was giving birth. So that made our first year with Arlo look very, very different. And you know what I was thinking? I don't know if I've talked about this, but my mom almost didn't come visit Arlo when he was born. I mean, she didn't come directly after. She came like a couple months later, but she almost didn't come, or like maybe a month after he was born or something like that. She almost didn't come because of COVID. And if she hadn't come, she would have never met him. So like, so blessed, it's insane. But just happy that she ended up changing her mind and everything worked out great. But what was I gonna say? But I'll try to stop saying that. So I didn't feel like I gave Texas a fair shot because that happened. And then as things were starting to like get normal again, I guess, we like, you know, he was 2, so we made it through his first year, and I feel like I still just was like figuring my life out and going through a lot after losing my mom. My whole personality changed, my whole level of anxiety and depression significantly changed. And yeah, it was really bad. And it even continued moving here, which I didn't expect it to get greater, but it got greater. And I feel like now I'm finally managing a little bit easier, but nonetheless, I say all that to say, like, I was kind of like, oh, I don't want to move back to Texas. But then I started thinking, you know, did you really give it a fair shot? And I think Scott's a pretty reasonable guy, so I'm willing to give it another shot. And there are so many benefits to living in Texas, aka his family being there, his big circle of group of friends that he's had since he was in college that I just don't have because I've moved so much. And the real like person that I still keep in touch with lives in New York. My best friend from high school, she's like, you know, the one that I'm like continually in touch with, and she's like the best, you know? But I have friends everywhere, but they're not like ones that I've gone through multiple phases of my life with, because if you look back at my history, I've moved a lot. And I love that for me, but it's just resulted in shorter friendships, less deep friendships. Nonetheless, it's just, I've had to sacrifice some of those things as moving, and I realize how much of a benefit they are to having that group of core people who, you know, I don't know, that are kind of in the same phase of your life and whatnot. And granted, I've loved having Neilani here, like, so much, but we still get caught up in our own lives and don't prioritize seeing each other as much as we probably should, or relying on each other as much as we should. So Texas makes sense. And then financially, Texas makes way more sense than Illinois because taxes here are stupidity. Gas here is stupidity. Just everything is really expensive here. So it makes sense financially as well. And we're looking to kind of settle down in a more permanent situation. And we've got Arlo to think about when he starts school again. So it's all those things that are kind of just like, yeah, it's time. And a big thing is family. You know, like, I feel like Scott and I have had, these 2 years have been fun exploring a new city, but have also been kind of testing because of the fact that I feel like we don't get to spend as much time together, doing things together without Arlo, just like the two of us, which I think is important. Don't get me wrong, I love our time with Arlo, and I think that's very important to prioritize doing stuff as a family, and it really did bond us as a family. But I feel like in a way it kind of like hindered Scott and I's like private relationship, because we didn't, every time we would go out we would have to have a babysitter, and I love our babysitter to death, but it's expensive, you know what I mean? So it's like an extra $200 on top of whatever you like do, essentially. And that's kind of how you think about it, 150, whatever, you know what I mean? But and then during those times we would have like friends want to hang out with us who don't have kids, so we would prioritize like doing things with friends instead of just the two of us. So I feel like it was harder to like connect, and I think we both realized that and value that as well. So that was kind of another thing that, like, I miss Scott's mom so much. But yeah, I think that's it. But I started, this whole thing kind of got me thinking of when I was moving back from Japan. And if you followed me for a while, you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure I was honest about the fact that I moved back because of my college boyfriend, who I dated actually like my senior year of college / dated. I don't know, I would use that term very loosely because he was an F-boy. Sorry, but he was. Now I like him as a friend, I guess you could say, but like I don't know. He was a terrible, he wasn't terrible, he was a boy. Not a good boy. But nonetheless, I moved back really truly for him. And my compromise was him moving to Texas for me, so he was trying to get a job. It was just kind of whatever, but I moved back and then we instantly broke up because, like, hello, I shouldn't have done it to begin with. But I say all that to say, like, obviously I'm very happy with my choice, because if I didn't move back from him, I would have not had my sweet family that I have now and all the other things, you know what I mean? So all those things happen for a reason. But again, I say all that to say that when I was moving back from Japan, I was so torn, because Japan is my favorite place in the world. Like, it really truly is. And if someone said you can move back to Japan tomorrow, I would be like, let's go. Like, let's go. I loved it there. I loved everything about the culture and my just, I don't know. I really truly loved my life there. Besides, work was very stressful, but it was starting to flip around because I was getting rid of the boss that made it stressful. AKA, I finally won her over towards the end as well, or she learned that I wasn't the devil working against her. No idea why she thought that to begin with. But like, it started to turn around, and I was making that decision, and I remember making a pros and cons list, and I wrote it down physically. I don't have that anymore, but I talked about just the things that, you know, I guess more pros than cons, the pros of moving back to America. And I remember the first thing being able to drive, because I hadn't driven in 2.5 years, being able to drive and being able to roll down my windows and listen to country music. And that was probably the biggest pro for me. Obviously, the biggest pro for me was seeing my dog again. You know, like, I was super sad about not having my dog there, and it wasn't the place to bring her. So number one, dog. Number two was, yeah, as simple as it sounds, rolling down my windows, having, you know, the breeze, country music. Like, I missed that part. And then I forgot what the other things were, honestly. Probably salads. I missed salads. There was really not a ton of just like, oh my God, I'm peeling on my arm from burning in Mexico a little bit. But I think I missed salads. That was something I talked about. And I forgot what else. But I was also like really taking a step back in my career, because I was offered a district manager position and I went back as a GM. So I turned down a promotion. This is gonna drive me nuts. And I realized I was giving up a lot for my career, but I thought the person that I was giving it up for was worth it. And it turns out, no. But I also think I was looking for an excuse to just be like, I knew I made the wrong decision. But like I said, everything happens for a reason, and I'm disgusting. I'm like peeling like a snake over here. Just gross. Gross, gross, gross. But I started to do that slightly when I was thinking about my apprehension of moving back to Texas. And I talked about, you know, all the good things already. The fact that, like, his family's there, babysitter, family time, friend time, all that kind of stuff. But I did start making my small stupid things, okay? So I'm sure you noticed, or maybe you haven't noticed, or I don't really care, and I don't really talk about this because it's not that important to me, but I have gained like around 10 pounds since moving to Illinois. And I think the first part of it is not walking as much. I don't walk nearly as much as I used to when I lived in Texas. I would go on my walks every day after I got back from the gym. And there's a couple reasons why I had that free time. I wasn't filming as much, I felt like, or I was just not putting out as quality of content, or whatever the case may be. I had more time to do that. Second thing, I went from a job where, like, I worked for Abercrombie, and then I worked for Sephora, and then I worked for that horrible company that I'm not going to talk about, that had me walking all the time, like all the time. And I also realized that, like, after you have a baby, I was probably 5 pounds heavier after my baby, after Arlo, than I was before. Like, and so when moving here, like, things still fit pretty much the same. I think I've gained a little bit of muscle, but also, like, I know that I'm not walking as much. When I was walking in all of my previous jobs, I was walking like a lot. When I lived in California, walking every single day. And then when I moved back to Texas, again, walking every single day. Here, it's kind of a gamble, okay? There's about 4 months where it's like nice-ish, but it's not always nice-ish, and it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't love the walking trail that I have, a walking path, because I don't do walking trails because they scare the crap out of me, to be honest with you. And I hate to admit that because there are just some creepy people in this world. And we went to Bussy Woods over the Mother's Day weekend, and I was like, this is why I don't come here to walk, because there were some weird people just like sitting, like just weirdly, creepily by themselves. I don't know, maybe they were fine, but like, trust your instincts, okay? So I don't do that. I walk around like the little trail that is around my house, like a walking path. And it's too easy to give up and just go home. And that's what I do. I don't love my walking path here. And I loved my walking path at home. And I was talking to Scott about this. I was like, in Dallas, there was things to look at. There were houses to see. There was just more interesting stuff along the route than this, which is just boring. I don't even walk past houses, you guys. I don't even walk past houses, okay? So it's kind of just like not as interesting for me to stay excited about walking and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not trying to make like excuses. Like, I get it. Like, you gotta be motivated. But walking was never about like weight loss or exercise for me. It was truly about, oh, I can't wait to go listen to my podcast and walk. Like, I'm so excited. It was entertainment for me. It was a hobby of mine. Like, I love to walk. It wasn't about weight loss. But naturally, what happens is, you know, you're walking, you're moving your body, you're burning extra calories, so on and so forth. My body got used to that. And then I moved here and I was like, whoop, slow the roll. Spring is raining 24/7. / you don't know what it's gonna be / it's windy as heck, and my allergies are horrible here, and like all the things, okay? I made every excuse in the book. But moral of the story is, I can probably count on I've maybe probably gone on 20-25 walks, and I don't know if I mentioned this. The reason why I stopped walking like the first summer after the first summer I was here, is because I was listening to this podcast about, oh God, what was it? Something was wrong or something? I don't know. I liked the podcast until it got to this part about losing a parent, and that like sent me into a spiral, and I couldn't listen to it anymore. Like, it was just a very big trigger for me. And I was like crying at the end of my walk, which again, like that's not the point of my walks, right? So I was like, maybe I need to give this a break, try to find a different podcast, so on and so forth. And anybody who tells me like, oh, listen to motivational ones. Yeah, okay, I don't want to. Scott sent me one about sleep, and you know what? Ignorance is bliss right now. I don't want to sleep better. I like my sleep, okay? I don't want to have somebody tell me I shouldn't do the things that I do before I go to bed, or watch TV when I go to bed. I know it's bad, but I don't care, okay? Let me have my simple joys. Like, I'm not gonna ruin my walks by educating myself. I know it sounds stupid, but it's true. Sometimes you just wanna, you just wanna chill, you know? And that was my walk for me. So I lost that, and I'm very excited about having that back in Dallas. Very excited. Second thing, kava. Yep, kava. They don't have kavas around here. We don't go out to eat regularly, like fast food anyway. But I miss kava because it's a healthy option. We have sweet green here. It's not the same. Sometimes I just want a salad. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's $17 for a freaking salad. Probably the same is true of kava now, but nonetheless, I miss kava, okay? Second, Eatsy's salad bar. Okay, I act like I like salads a lot. I do like salads. I like when other people make me salads and not myself. And I still make salads, but I like when other people make me salads. I'm trying to do this from far away, and I think it's gonna go miserably. But those are things I miss. Kava, my walks, Eatsy's salad bars. I went Hudson House salad because it's so good. What else do I miss about Dallas? Like, I already said the obvious things. I'm talking about the vain things, the things that don't really matter. While we're adding that to a Tex-Mex. Yep, I miss Mexican food. I miss sitting down on a Friday on a patio with a fat old margarita and a bowl of guac and chips and queso. Like, mess me up. Yum. So, those are some of the things, you know? And I had to write them down and remind myself that there are so many fun things, and obviously way more. I told you, I'm listing the main ones, but yeah, that's what I'm excited about. So if you feel like you're entering in a phase where you're like not thrilled about a move or something or whatever, make a list of things that you can find that are positive, because it's helpful. I did it when I moved to Japan, or from Japan, and I ended up making a great life out of it. I wasn't recording just a second ago, but needless to say, I found myself feeling kind of negative about the move, kind of like, oh, I don't want to, in times, and you know, what I'm gonna miss about here, and then talking about the things that whoa, that's a big old freckle. Trying to rephrase my brain into thinking, or retrain my brain into thinking the positive things that I'm actually very excited about. So if you're going through something like that, whether you have to move for work or just whatever, like the case may be, making a move you don't necessarily want to make, trying to kind of rephrase it / write it down for me helps, because it helps me visualize where, you know, ooh, man down. Give it a try. I've done it twice and it's worked. I'm just kidding. When I moved from California back to Texas, I didn't really think about all that I was missing, because I didn't make a list because I was just so excited to be with Scott. That's how you know you have the right person, because had I not, I probably wouldn't have had to make that list if that guy that I was moving back from Japan was the right person. But you know what? I'm happy I made the list, because look at me now. Just kidding. I've been using this brown mascara a little bit, and I'm thoroughly loving. Said I wasn't going to talk about this, but this is the Grande Mascara Conditioning Peptide Mascara in brown. I feel like any brown mascara, but I mean this peptides, so I like. You know what I was thinking though? Why don't they make a mascara that tints your lashes with time? That'd be genius, because everybody loves a good lash tint. It's kind of soft. Still gives me like definition and whatnot, but you know the other best thing that happened to me from moving back from Japan? Not using eyelash extensions anymore. And if you do eyelash extensions, you do you. I don't care, but they looked terrible on me. So that's it, you guys. Oh, I meant to put on setting spray before I did my mascara. Such is life. Okay, I will link the makeup products, I guess. I don't know. I used random products and I don't even remember everything that I used now, so I don't know. But they're all kind of the same. I've used them at least once. We're gonna wait to set my face in a second. But yeah, that's how I'm kind of feeling about my move, and I'm excited for the future in terms of the next couple of years, what that's gonna look like for us, and I don't know, I'm hopeful for all those things. So yeah. Ta-da! Okay, so I hope that kind of catches you up a little bit, and if you like these on this channel, I can keep doing more. It's a little less like formal, and I can kind of like talk about a topic or talk about something that's going on, but I feel like they kind of work here because they're more vlog style than anything, and they're less like fashiony, which is what my other channel has kind of evolved into, which I love it so much. But I still felt like I wanted to film girl talks, but I guess I didn't feel like they didn't perform very well on that channel from like a business standpoint, so it made more sense to kind of put it here. So if you don't like it, I get it, but they're gonna be vlog style, they're gonna be chatty, they're gonna be chill. They're nothing like where I'm putting like showing products. I'm literally just getting ready. So cheers! I hope you enjoyed getting ready with me. I have to go do my hair now, which is my least favorite part / favorite part. I haven't decided what I want to do with my hair yet. I don't know, we'll see. But I love you guys. Thanks for chatting with me and listening to me vent and whatnot. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!